Aztecs and Mayans and the Incas had a lot of things in common. The difference is the Aztecs were in central Mexico. The Mexica, the Aztecs were in central Mexico. The Mayans were more down south by the jungle of southern Mexico. And then the Inca were down, who knows where the Inca were at? Where was their main place?
South America.
South America, where?
By the Cheetahs at?
By Peru, modern day Peru. So if we looked at a map of, let me draw a map of that. I like this magnetic.
There's one right there.
Oh, okay, perfect. Okay. So the way we see this here, Mexico was right here in the center. That's where the Aztecs were. Then you go down more and you have the Maya in this area, closer towards the jungle. If you go down more further down here, then you have the Inca. And they had a big empire also. And people used to think they didn't have contact between each other, but they did. And the way archaeologists that we talked about earlier are finding out more and more they had contact is because of their trade. Their what they would buy and what they would sell and what they would trade to each other. All the way with Native Americans up to Arizona, the Apache, the Hopi, those different cultures. And the reason why they know is because one of the most valuable things they would have is what's this? It's turquoise. So turquoise and jade were the most valuable things to the Aztecs and the Mayas. But it was also valued by the Inca, just the same way today it is valued by the Navajo, whose real name is the Ne. Question?
Was it important because of the color?
Yes, that's a big part of it. So it's a good observation. So the real way to call turquoise in Nahuatl is, who wants to take a guess how to say this? Go ahead. Chihuitl. There you go. That means turquoise in Nahuatl. So what this also means, it means turquoise, but it also means the sky. Why? It's the color of the sky. It's also the color of water. The water was very important to the Aztecs and the Mayas and the Incas and other Native American cultures because that's what you need in order to grow food. So growing food was very important for them. There was no supermarket they could go to and just buy something off the shelf. They had to make sure the food grew on time when it was supposed to grow, or people would starve. And so that's how they got so good at math, engineering. Who here likes math? Who here is good at math? So the Aztecs and the Mayas didn't have any computers. They didn't have any of that. They were very good at math, and they were able to make the most accurate calendar and also invent the concept of the zero. So has anybody ever seen this before? What's this called? Mm-hmm. Well, what is it called? The Aztec Calendar, or the Sunstone. So you see the faces in it in the middle. Yep, like a compass. These represent the sun rays. The face in the middle, what do you think that represents?
The sun.
The sun. Right? Remember we talked about the creation of the sun? So the name of the sun is Tonatiuh. That's the name of the sun. And if you can see it closer, he's wearing one of these. He's wearing a necklace. Can you see that? Because that was very valuable to them. Question. Go ahead. The more you learn about it, the less you'll get scared. Go ahead.
Is that real?
This is a replica, so it's not real. The real one is as big as this wall, from top to bottom, and it was carved out of stone by hand. and the original one was painted. So remember when we said they buried over the city? They discovered the real one about 100 years ago. It was buried, covered up, and they found it, and now it's in a museum. So you can go visit it today at the museum in Mexico City.
Are all the stuff you're gonna show us, is it?
I'm gonna pass this around, so you be very careful with it.
Or are they replicas?
These are all replicas,
But they're made by hand?
but they're made by hand, yes. So this is real turquoise. Be careful with this. I'll pass this around.
These are hand carved. How do they like that?
Oh, thank you. It's my daughter's. Here's an example of textiles they would weave together and make clothes. They would wear items of clothes that were like a blanket over themselves. They looked like capes that were also made by hand out of cotton. Or if they couldn't afford cotton, some of the more poor tribes would wear ones made out of fibers that were made from cactus. So the cactus is a very versatile plant because a big part of Mexico is desert. Also, that was very important to the Aztecs was the jaguar.
Wasn't that the dog? We're Jaguar.
No, but it was the jaguar. So we talked about them being a warrior society, right? So two of the toughest warriors, what they would do was they were called the warriors of the sun and the warriors of the night. The warriors of the sun dressed up like eagles because the eagle was very represented bravery to them. That's why the eagle is on the Mexican flag. So remember when we talked about when they started the island? The reason why they started their city there on the island is because they saw an eagle on a cactus, and that to them was their special sign to say, if we build our city here, we are going to be powerful. That's why today the eagle on the cactus is on the Mexican flag. It comes directly from the Mexica, just like the name of the country, Mexico. So the other ones, the warriors of the eagle warriors. Then you had also the jaguar warriors, because the jaguar represented the night. And the reason why is because they looked at the spots that it has, it represented the stars. Plus the jaguar is what? What kind of animal is the jaguar?
Leopard.
When do they like to hunt?
Night.
At night. They're nocturnal, meaning they are awake and go hunting at night. In the daytime, they're more likely to be sleeping. So you know the original name of the jaguar is the Nahuatl word. What is an ocelot?
It's a type of cat. Yeah, it's a type of cat.
It's a type of cat. It's small and looks like a jaguar, right?
Yeah, like that.
So the original name for the jaguar is ocelot, so the name for the little cat today they got from this word. But really, this is the word for the big cat to the Aztecs. In Mayan, it's balam. That's how you say jaguar in Mayan. Question?
For the calendar, would they use the sun to tell them what day?
Yeah, so the sun,
Like the shadow?
the shadows, the sun, the stars at night, were they in the right position? When they built their temples and their pyramids on the island, it would be lined up to where the stars were. And that's how every year they would look at their calendars and they would be able to tell, is the sun in the right place at the right time? That lets us know this is when it's time to plant the seeds to grow corn. Corn is something else that was invented by Native Americans from Mexico, way before the time of the Aztecs. Corn is very, very important to, that's why it's very important to all Native American, most Native American cultures. And the reason why is because corn originally started out as a very little plant. And using their science and their intelligence, they were able to turn it into the big crop that we know today. Question?
How much time did it take to build
The calendar was developed over hundreds and believed thousands of years of observation of nature, the stars, the sun, and it was developed way before the Aztecs came around or the Mayas, and it was developed by a culture. The earliest known culture to come out of Mexico was known as the Olmeca. Nobody knows what they really called themselves. This is the name that the Mexica gave them. But the Olmeca came out around this area down here by the Yucatan Peninsula. And they are the first ones to really start the culture of putting the Jaguar on a pedestal, of using jade as something that was precious, developing the calendar, planting corn and crops, having a warrior society. They are the earliest known culture out of Mexico. Who had her hand? Okay, box call names. Go ahead.
Did they have to make popcorn? Like certain?
Yes, they did. So popcorn also comes from the Aztecs.
There's also quetzal.
Mm-hmm.
There's also here.
So the quetzal, what is the quetzal?
Bird with a really long tail.
Mm-hmm. Has really long tail feathers. So the tail feathers of the quetzal was the most valuable thing you could have to the Aztecs and to the Maya, because it's so beautiful and it's so long, and feathers were valued at a they had great value in those societies. Go ahead.
What's your last name?
Sanchez.